Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sanctum Tour. This is an after hours video, and yet it's something I was tagged in. 10 questions, 10 video game questions, and ask a gamer, which I do consider myself a gamer. I want to thank my good buddy Retro T Baron for asking me to do a video on this. Little get to know you better video. So question number 1 is, what type of games do you play? Well, the Sanctum Stark, your host, likes to play all kinds of games. Mostly horror. I do play occasional Fortnite. And I play, sorry, I'm just checking, make sure everything's right. Play Minecraft. I do play puzzle games. I do play story-driven games. I play action games. I play platformers. I do play a lot of types of games, and sports is probably the one game that I don't play, but we can get into that later. But mostly those kind of games. Number 2 is, how much time do you spend playing video games on average? Well, that depends on how old I am. In college, I used to play World of Warcraft religiously, and I would play until the morning lights, get 2 hours of sleep, and then go into my classes. Nowadays, if I even think about playing a game after 10 p.m., I'm like, what's wrong with you? The older we get, the harder it is to stay up. But how many hours do I spend gaming? Well, I normally put in about 2 hours of stream time. So that's 2 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Um, Maybe on a good weekday, anywhere from 2 to 3 hours of personal game time. If it's Saturday, it depends on what I'm doing on Saturdays. If it's just me and my friends, then we're playing all day. If it's just me, then it's off and on. Maybe half a day. But I do put a lot of time into video games because if it catches my interest, and um, especially certain types of video games. I know one of them is Skyrim. Skyrim is one of those games where you think you're only playing for a few hours, and 8 hours, 9 hours have passed. So it's kind of like one of those situations where it just kind of fell like that. Another one is Minecraft. I can lose hours upon hours playing that game. Number 3, do you think video games can be educational? I do, actually, and for different reasons. I want to harken back to a YouTuber named Waves and Games, who did recently a video on things that he's learned from video games, and it's like very, very um, educational and very how do you say, informative, especially if you are a gamer, because as a gamer, you do learn certain things. You learn things from comic books. I don't feel like that. I think it's wrong that people attack video games and stuff like that when there's so much to learn from them. Going back to Minecraft, is you can express yourself in so many ways, which kind of brings me to number 4. What do you like about video games? And not only is it really a stress reliever, escapism almost, like going to a good movie, um, it helps build your character. It can be a outlet for your creativity. Going back to what I was saying about Minecraft is, me and my wife had a map where it was just empty flat land, and little by little we would build something, whether it be a subway or a school or a tower or a jail or a farmhouse. I actually built my grandparents' house in Fortnite on that map. We had a big town map. I built the Megazord from Power Rangers, and just let my creative side, and those of you who know me know I'm an artist, let my creative side just flourish and flow. And it was really fun for that because um, I feel like anyone and everyone can do that. Express yourself, let go of rage and let go of anger in playing video games. Um, there's these things called rage rooms where you can break things, but then like you can go into games and do that. Um, so what I like about video games is it can be that serotonin or stress reliever sometimes. I know usually when I'm sad or dealing with something, I can play some Minecraft. Another one, and Carla understands this. Carla Koala is a Power Wash Simulator. Never thought in a million years Power Wash Simulator would be a game that I play, and we got it for free on PlayStation Plus, and I started playing it, and I calmed down. I spent a few hours playing Power Wash Simulator, and I'm just calm, just just zen as can be, chill as can be. Number 5, how much do you spend on video games? Lizzie, if you're watching this, this is where you stop the video. Honey, you have been warned. That's a good question. How much do I spend on video games? That's a tough question because video games today are expensive. Um, Newer games are 60 to 70 bucks. If you want to get the DLC for stuff, it cranks up a little more. I do buy skins on Fortnite, so that adds a little more. I do buy a lot of Steam games, a lot of GOG games. Um, so that adds up. If you're talking about monthly, I guess I can put it. I can on a bad month put away 100 and something dollars, 120, 150. But I don't buy video games as much as I used to. In fact, there's a lot that I want to get, and I haven't because of money and prices. Because there's the Marvel Fighting Collection, there is Fortnite skins coming out, there's Silent Hill 2 remake, bunch of other games that are coming out that I just want to get, and like, well, here's a bill, here's a car payment, and I'm like, I want to do that first. And again, my bills come first before video games. Number 6 is, what's your favorite console? Well, here's something funny. I used to be or not PC, PlayStation all day, every day, right? But I've kind of come over to the PC side. I know that's not really a console, but there's games that I can play now that I can't, otherwise. There's Star Trek games I can play. There are, again, World of Warcraft. But if I had to pick a console, PlayStation 5 has been absolutely amazing to play with and get to know. PlayStation 3 was amazing. I spent a lot of my college time on that and the 2. So yeah, PlayStation is probably my go-to, and that's nothing against Xbox. And I'm not a choose your fighter sort of thing. I do have some Xboxes. I just, with the 360 getting 2 red rings of death, I've kind of went toward PlayStation a little more. What's your favorite video game? Number 7. That's a tough question. um, if it's for story, I love the Legacy of Kain series. Anyone who's ever talked to me, I have nothing but praise for that game. Um, uh, Here's the fun story. So I ended up buying Legacy of Kain Blood Omen from a video game rental store. It was a Friday night, and me and my friends used to be notorious. Would go in, spend the night at each other's houses, rent some movies, right? and there was a rack of games, and one of them was Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain Blood Omen. And I was like, what's this? Oh, the vampire games. I like vampires, you know? Ooh, I'm going to pick this up. Played it and got enthralled with the story. And then I found out, oh, well, there's another one, Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm going to pick it up and play it. And then I found out Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, Defiance. And such good storytelling, such good music. It really pulls you in. On the same token, I really, really enjoy Minecraft because, again, it's your ability to create is your limitations. So even if you don't have the right shape, you can find a way to fudge it a little bit, and create wonderful things. Funny enough, there was a streamer. His name was Ehud Sword, and he did a stream of him just digging a pit in Minecraft. But his content was him interacting with his audience, and I remember that stream because you think digging a hole would be boring, but um, it was fun. It was really fun. So shout out to him. Um, Funny enough, I had a bad experience in Minecraft one time. I was digging a hole, not straight down because they tell you not to do straight down, but like in steps, like spiral almost. And I wasn't putting out torches, and you're supposed to put out torches to keep mobs from spawning in there. And I had saved at the bottom of the quarry and got back on there. And sure enough, waiting for me when I got back in was a whole bunch of creepers and zombies. I'm like, uh oh. Moral of the story is I put up torches after that. Um, well, one time I was building from scratch, and by scratch I mean I'm not in creative. I'm getting stuff as it's naturally supposed to be gotten, and I was building Dracula's castle full of traps and fun stuff, and I never finished it, and I regret not going back and finishing it. And maybe one day I will, but I had a lot of that built, and I was so happy with that. But if I had to say one game is my favorite game, it's got to be Legacy of Kain Blood Omen. It's a good story, and it's got twists, it's got turns, it's got multiple endings. Obviously one's canon, one's not, but it's truly a fun game. Um, what's your favorite video game movie? Ooh, hmm. I'm gonna have to be vanilla and say the Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt. I really enjoyed that movie. Like super enjoyed that movie. Don't get me wrong, I like Mortal Kombat. I like there's some fun parts of Super Mario Brothers. I will never ever say that that's a great movie because it's not. But it's one of those you turn off your brain and you watch and you have fun with it. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I like the Tomb Raider movies. They're fun. Um, but that's all that's coming to my mind right now. So I guess we'll go to the next question. Number 9, who is your favorite video game character? Um, hmm, that's interesting because you can go into spoiler territories in this. Hmm, let me think about that. So I'm gonna go with Kain from Legacy of Kain. I know, big surprise. So here's some spoilers. If you don't want to know the ending to the Legacy of Kain stories, uh, fast forward or stop. So Kain was a nobleman who was orchestratedly murdered and came back as a vampire for vengeance. At the end, he finds out that he's a pawn for these corrupted leaders of the Pillars of Nosgoth. And he has to make a choice. And the choice is die, and you're the last vampire on Earth, so that's it. Or live and rule as a vampire. And so he makes a choice. In the canon choices, he lives and makes other vampires, other sires. But you think, isn't that such a um a choice that is selfish? But then you find out that he learned some things and discovered some things, and he had to make some changes because there were forces at work that we didn't know about yet. And of course, in Soul Reaver, he's the main antagonist. He's the villain. Kane is who you fight. And so in second Soul Reaver, you're chasing him through time. In Blood Omen, you see him raising his, or Blood Omen 2, you see him raising his army, and you're seeing him find out more and more that things weren't as it was. And in Defiance, you see him flipping time on its head and saying, no, we have to make a change because things aren't as they should be. And so, as a person who sometimes has to make hard and tough decisions, for my family, for my friends, for a lot of other people, which is kind of weird to say, but sometimes you have to make tough decisions and they'll get angry with you about it. And you learn to sometimes just to be the villain that you have to be sometimes so that you can make the right choice. I remember a while back, my wife wanted to sell Mary Kay, and I had to be the villain and say, no, we're not going to do that because if it was so easy making money off that, then why doesn't a bunch of people do that, you know? And so she got mad at me, and I felt like a villain for the longest. I'm like, I just can't gamble on our livelihood off something like that, you know? So I kind of see Kane and see the choices he makes, and um, definitely understand when things don't seem right. Sometimes you have to be that villain, that bad guy, you know. But you're doing it for the right reason, even though if no one else sees it, you know. Number 10. What is your least favorite type of video game? Sports games. I don't like sports games. I hate sports games. The only sports games I play is wrestling, and that's because I like to watch wrestling, um, and I don't like basketball. I don't really care for um, baseball and football and all that stuff. I'm not a sports guy, um, for personal reasons. Um, but wrestling's the only sports game, if you want to call it sports. That's a different debate for a different day, but definitely, it's not my favorite genre. I don't really care for sports games, and another problem is they're $70 a game. They come out with one every year and little changes, you know. But if you want to keep up with it, you have to get the newest one, and so I don't like those. So, hmm, let's see. Number one, number two, number three, number four, number five, number six, seven, eight, 9, and 10. That's all the questions. Now, the thing is, they say that you're to tag someone to do the next video. Who should I tag? I know. Mr. Triforce Hunter and Coin Halo. I challenge you 10 questions to ask a gamer. And you, my friend, are the next gamer that I choose. But this was fun. Thank you, T Barone, for that. And again, I will tag Triforce in this video to let him know that he is the chosen one if he wants to do it. If not, that's fine too. But thank you for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.